Hi guys, so thank you for joining the session. Can you hear me okay? Can you leave a message in the chat if you can hear me okay? Great, okay. So today I'm going to introduce a bit more about China admissions, and then we are going to introduce about our platform, and we have just added scholarships to our platform. So now on our platform, you can see a list of scholarships in China and you can see how to apply. So I'm going to introduce that. It's just live today, so we're excited to introduce that. And then today we also have 3 students who are going to introduce how they got a scholarship and their story. And then at the end, we're going to have some questions, so you can ask questions. If you have a question, you can just leave it in the Q&A section, and then we will answer it right at the end. So let me just share a bit more about China admissions. Okay, so today we're introducing the scholarships, and China Admissions is an award-winning platform for international students to apply to Chinese universities. We partner with over 200 Chinese universities because we realize it's very difficult to find the information for students. So we make it really simple on our platform. You can just find the information and apply. And we have won a number of awards, such as the top 30 foreign entrepreneurs in China, Holong IQ China EdTech 100, and we've received the Chaoyang Phoenix Grant, which is funding from the government in Beijing for 2 years. And our team is an international team from many different countries. And a lot of us have studied in universities in China, and we understand what it's like for students like you. So this is our platform. On our platform, you can find all of the information about programs that you can apply. And it's very easy to search and apply to universities. So we partner with most of the top, or all of the top universities in China, and you can use our platform to apply to any university in China. And so the reasons why international students like to apply on China admissions is basically that it's free to apply, or we have a basic service, which is free. And then you can also search all of the information. It's very easy to find. You can apply to many programs in one place on our platform, and it's very fast, or our service is very fast. So it can be difficult to communicate with universities, but we give free and fast support by email and by WhatsApp and other methods. And we do that because we are funded by universities in China. We are based in Beijing, and so some information about 2021 intake. So many of you have been asking about when can you come to China. Currently, students are not allowed to come to China because of the border. We are waiting for updates. Maybe there will be updates after the Spring Festival, but we don't know right now. There's no official date, but all the admissions are going ahead as normal for September 21 intake. And when the border opens, it depends on COVID-19, which has been going down in many countries. And it also depends on the government policy. So at the moment, there's a lot of online programs from universities in China, and students who are already in China can attend classes in China. So this is the 3 reasons why to apply on China admissions. So we're free, one platform for all, and responsive, which I introduced before. So I'm not going to go too much detail about that right now. I'm going to introduce more about the scholarships today. So I have a video which I actually prepared for you, and I'm going to introduce in this video in more detail about the scholarships. So let me share this.
There are many scholarships in China for international students. Over 50,000 students are studying in China with a scholarship. The scholarship can cover the full tuition, accommodation, and living expenses, which can go up if you're a bachelor, master, or PhD level. It can be worth up to $30,000 US. I'm Rich from China Admissions. We're an online platform for international students to apply to Chinese universities. We have helped many international students get scholarships in China. Recently, we have so many students asking us about scholarships, so we are listing on our platform all of the scholarships in Chinese universities. We want to make it much more transparent. If you're interested in updates, please subscribe on our YouTube channel and also register on our platform. We'll give you updates. There are 2 types of scholarships in Chinese universities. There's Chinese Scholarship Council, which is the Chinese government scholarship, and the university scholarships. I'm going to introduce the scholarship scholarships, how to apply, I'm also going to give you some tips on how to increase your chances of getting accepted. The Chinese Scholarship Council, or the Chinese Government Scholarship, is probably the biggest way to get scholarships. The CSC is the Chinese Government Scholarship. There are 279 universities that accept students on this scholarship. So how it works is the CSC is based in Beijing, and they assign a quota to universities and embassies all around the world. Each of these, they get a number of students they can accept for the scholarship. So how you apply for it is you need to apply on the online application system of the CSC Government Scholarship, prepare all of the documents perfectly, and then send them to the agency, which is the embassy or the university. I have the full list of the agencies in the description. You probably want to apply to the embassy in your own country or the university. Can you apply to both universities and embassies? Yes, you can. You can make multiple applications. I'm going to tell you exactly how to apply and give you some tips a bit later. There is a quota for each country. For example, in Pakistan, there's so many students applying, so it's a little bit more difficult. But if you're looking in United States or in UK or in New Zealand, there's not as many students applying, so it can be a lot easier and the acceptance rate can be a lot higher from certain countries. So what you do is you print off the documents and then you need to send them to the embassy or the university, who will process the application. They will check and they will give a short list of those that they have assigned a scholarship, send them to the CSC office in Beijing, and then you will get the update about whether you have got the scholarship later on. So here is a list of the documents you need to send with your application. You need to send your highest academic transcript, passport copy, study plan, research proposal, which is really important, recommendation letters. You need to show the visa if you've been to China before. Also, you need a medical exam form to show that you're healthy, and it's also helpful if you have a pre-admission letter, you've already been accepted to a university. But if you don't have that, it's not 100% necessary to send it then. So the universities, they have many different scholarships. If you want to apply for the university scholarship, these are the ones that we're adding on our platform, so you can subscribe to our YouTube China Admissions. We'll give you more updates about these scholarships. Sometimes when you apply to the university, they will just give you the scholarship automatically, but you also need to follow the exact requirements for each scholarship and each university. So for example, every student that applies to Csc University on China Admissions gets a presidential scholarship automatically. On our platform, we have more information about all of the scholarships at Chinese universities. Normally, these scholarships will go to the best students with the highest grades, so it's important to have a really good application when you apply to these scholarships. Obviously, this is completely separate for the Chinese Government Scholarship, so you can apply to the university scholarships and the Chinese Government Scholarship. Why not apply to as many scholarships as possible? So for the timing of the scholarship, it is normally open from January, February, March, and the deadline will be in March or just after the Spring Festival, and you can apply for September intake. For university scholarships, they will have different deadlines according to the university. So I have some tips on how you can increase your chances of getting a scholarship. But firstly, it's kind of obvious, but you need to have a really strong application when you apply. So make sure that you have the best application documents. Make sure you really understand the university you're applying for. So make sure to double check all of your essays and to check all of this so it's 100% perfect. If you can speak some Chinese, it definitely helps. You can take an online program to get a certificate. For example, Beijing Language and Culture University, they offer online certificate programs. If you take one of these courses, it can be done in 12 weeks. You can get a certificate and attach that to your application. It will definitely help because it shows that you've already been studying some Chinese. The higher Chinese level that you have, the better. If you have some Chinese, it's definitely better than none. Another of the main tips is make sure you apply as early as possible. A lot of the scholarships goes to students who apply earlier, so why not apply as early as possible? If you apply later, there's a lot more competition, and don't apply just on the deadline. One of the things that you have to make sure is when you prepare all of the documents to send everything 100% perfectly. So you need to make sure to double check that it's exactly how they want it, because often they will get many applications, so they probably don't have time to give feedback to all the students. So that's why it's really important to just give all of the documents in a perfect way. And this is another thing which is related. It's really good if you can try and contact them and try and ask them to check your application. Try and make contact with them and say, "Hi, I'm just sending an application, please can you double check it's all okay?" If you make contact with them, it will encourage them to check your application, and then they will get back to you and give you feedback. If you're living in the country and you want to apply to the embassy, it can be really helpful if you can go to the embassy in person. I know it may be difficult with COVID, but if you can find a way where you can meet the people, show them your application documents and ask them to check, that can definitely help because they can give you feedback right there on the spot. So the process for the Chinese Government Scholarship, sometimes it can take some time because it needs to be processed by the university or by the embassy, and then it needs to go to the CSC where they allocate the scholarships, and then they will need to assign you to the university you will get the scholarship at. So this whole process can take a bit of time. So if you apply in March, you can get the update in June, July or August. So it can be a bit late. It's difficult to know. It depends on the exact process, the exact country that you're applying for. There's a few programs that you might want to consider. There are 4,500 programs in China in English, but you can also study Chinese programs. If you study a Chinese program, you actually have a higher chance of getting a scholarship because China wants more people to speak Chinese. So if you can study on a foundation program such as Beijing Language and Culture College, they have a foundation program where you can study 1 year in Chinese, and then after that you can get a full scholarship at Tianjin University. So this is a great program and a great way to get a scholarship. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more updates about scholarships in China.
Okay, thank you guys. So I'm going to later on, I'm going to introduce our platform and the updates and how you can apply. Right now, we have Nadia from Indonesia, who is going to introduce about her experience getting the scholarship. So here we have Nadia.
Hi. Hi, Rich. Hi, everyone. Right, so yeah, maybe I just share a little bit about my story because I got the Csc Scholarship back then in 2017. So yeah, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nadia from China Admissions. And then, yeah, I'm from Indonesia, originally from Indonesia. And then, okay, guys, okay, sorry. I hope everybody can see me now. Right, so I'm Nadia from Indonesia. So I finished my bachelor degree back then in my hometown in Indonesia. And then I applied for the Csc Scholarship Type B, because there's two types of Csc Scholarship. One is Type A, where you apply through the embassy, and then there's another type, which is the Type B, where you need to send your application to the university. So I got the Csc Scholarship Type B back then in 2017, and I applied in early 2017. And then I studied at University of International Business and Economics in Beijing from 2017 to 2019, majoring in Masters in WTO of Law and Economics. So a little bit story about how my application goes back then in 2017 is that, well, I do a lot of research. So I do suggest all of you who wants to apply for scholarships to do a lot of research, especially about the university, like which university you want to apply for, which programs, because definitely there are a lot of English taught programs or Chinese taught programs available in China for international students to apply. So I applied back then in early 2017. It was around January or February. And then, well, basically I applied directly to the university because I wasn't aware of China admissions yet at that time. And so the things that you need to prepare is the Csc Scholarship application form, where you need to fill it in on the Csc official website. And then you also need to complete all the required documents for your scholarship applications, like passport, and then your photo, your diploma, your transcripts, your study plan or personal statement, and also the recommendation letters if you're applying for a master's or PhD. And yeah, and aside from that, you need to also apply to the university. So once you have completed all the application documents and like all the scholarship application form as well, then for the Csc Scholarship Type B, which is what I did back then, is sending the documents to the university. So I remember the deadline was around at the end of March. So it was March 31st. So I sent out my application package to the university around February from Indonesia all the way to China. And yes, I did apply to multiple universities back then. I applied to 2 universities in Beijing, one UIPE, and then there's another one called University of Science and Technology Beijing. I also applied for Masters in Business program there because I thought that Csc Scholarship is definitely, it's a famous scholarship these days. And that's why it's very, very hard to get. The number of Csc Scholarships awardees is limited as well. That's why I feel like if I apply to multiple universities, then I can have an increased chances of getting the admissions as well. So I did apply to 2 universities. And yeah, so like I said before, I sent my application to them around February. And then after that, approximately by June or July, I heard back from UIPE by email saying that they actually nominated me for the Csc Scholarship. And so they emailed me several times in June to July saying that congratulations, you got the nomination, and then congratulations, you're like finally awarded the scholarships. And then by August, I received my admissions package from the university, which consists of the original copy of the visa form and also the original copy of the admissions notice. And so I left my job at Indonesia and then I applied for the student visa at the Chinese embassy and then fly to China. And it was indeed one of the best decisions I've ever made because I didn't really expect much about China, to be honest, because I don't really know a lot about China back then. So it was indeed like one challenging and exciting experience. It was the first time. It was the first time for me to study abroad as well. But yeah, it is one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I've never regret. I've never regret at all leaving my job back then to get this scholarship opportunity, and then eventually come to China for study back then in 2017 until 2019. Get my master's degree by 2019, and then land a job in China. So yeah, I hope everybody have like a good luck, and also it takes a lot of preparation and it takes a lot of it takes a lot of strength as well to prepare for your scholarship applications. And yeah, I hope everybody can excel and get the Csc scholarship.
Thank you, Nadia. That was great to hear your experience. So now we have another student who's going to introduce. If you have questions for Nadia, you can leave it in the Q&A section. And here is a story of another student from Malaysia, and her name is Beatrice. And let me share the video with Beatrice.
Hi guys, my name is Beatrice. I'm a business student from Malaysia who just recently graduated with a bachelor's degree from 4 years of study at Beijing Foreign Studies University. I had applied to study at BFSU 4 years ago through an agent, and I received a partial scholarship for the first year's tuition based on my IGCSE score. I had looked for more scholarship opportunities that I could apply to, but really it wasn't easy to find because there was limited information available to me regarding scholarships for universities in China. So I had settled for the partial scholarship. It wasn't as much as I had hoped for, but it was very valuable to me as I wanted to minimize the cost of studying abroad as much as possible. I didn't know about China admissions back then when I was applying, but I wish I did. You can find that they offer quite a few scholarship opportunities for students, and it can prove to be very, very helpful. I definitely recommend their service because besides scholarship, they also help with your application process, which is very effective and can save much of your time. And the fact that they do not charge service fee is a big, big plus.
Okay, so thank you to Beatrice. And now we have Dulguun from Mongolia, who's going to introduce more about her experience getting the scholarship. And Beatrice's scholarship is available on China admissions at Beijing Foreign Studies University. And I'll introduce that more later. So Dulguun, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, guys. So I am Dulguun from Mongolia, and I currently work as admissions manager at China Admissions. And I'm still a student in China, and I received the Chinese government scholarship, Csc, actually twice already. And first, I received Csc scholarship after I graduated my bachelor's degree from the University of International Business and Economics, like Nadia. And then I received a PhD scholarship, also a Csc scholarship after I graduated my MBA degree. So currently I pursue a PhD degree majored in finance. So how did I receive a Csc scholarship? So as Rich mentioned, there are only two ways that you can apply for Csc scholarship, via the embassy and via the university. So I'm the one who applied by the university. And actually, I came to China in 2012, right after my high school, when I was just 17 years old. And at that time, I came to pursue a bachelor's degree in international economics and trade. And I was a self-funded student with no scholarship. And I think my case might be a bit unique on how I received a Csc scholarship, because I was already in China. And I actually graduated my bachelor's degree with a GPA of almost 3.99 out of 4. So I had almost a perfect GPA. So I have received the Best Student Award of my university for many years in a row. And after that, I was actually approached by a teacher in UIB asking me that whether I want to pursue a master's degree so I can be nominated for a Csc scholarship from UIB directly. And then I accepted the offer and I decided to pursue an MBA degree in UIB as a Csc student, because actually UIB Business School is a Triple Crown accredited business school, and there are not many Triple Crown accredited business schools in the world. And also UIB Business School had a lot of great exchange programs. So even though I was a Csc student, I was able to go to France as a Csc student in an exchange program. And as a master's student, when you receive a Csc scholarship, it includes a free tuition fee, free accommodation on campus, free insurance, and also monthly allowance of 3,000 RMB in the duration of your study. And also, it was my first time I received a Csc scholarship. I was nominated by UIB. And secondly, during my MBA studies, I was also nominated as the best student in UIB with a very high GPA. So upon graduation, I was also asked by my teacher whether I want to pursue a PhD degree. And at that time, I thought maybe after MBA degree, you want to work more, you want to practice more of what you learned. So I directly pursued to work. So I worked in Beijing for 1 year. And after 1 year, I actually decided to apply for a PhD degree, and again applied for a PhD degree in finance at UIB. So how you apply for a Csc scholarship is like, as Nadia and Rich said, you actually go on a Csc platform and fill in your information, upload all the necessary documents, and you have to mail all the documents on your Csc application to the university and pay the university application fee. And after you submit all the documents, you have to actually wait for the Csc result. And the waiting time is pretty long. It usually, the Csc result comes out in the end of July, even beginning of August. So you will only by that time know whether or not you received Csc scholarship or not. And usually the university will send you an email congratulating you, like, oh, you received a Csc scholarship, congratulations. And they will give you the next steps that you should follow to accept the scholarship. So from my experience, like to receive a Csc scholarship, you should apply as early as possible, because it's a very competitive scholarship and it's one of the biggest scholarships in China. So many students want it. And you should gather all the full documents before the deadline, because documents can take a lot of time. Recommendation letters, police clearance report, and medical examination during this time of COVID. So you should arrange your time really well so that you have all the documents. And also you should do really well in school, because that was my strongest point. So if you have a good grades, then you might stand a better chance than other students. Yes, so, and also I think one thing for, if you are a PhD student, if you're applying for a Csc, one thing to know is that most universities in China, they actually need you to have supervisors approval before you can get accepted and can get qualified for Csc scholarship. So if you are a PhD student, you first should contact a professor in the university and get supervisors approval to actually be qualified for Csc and PhD. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, Dulguun, for sharing your story. There's actually a question asking about the research proposal. I wonder if you are able to answer, like, do you have any tips on how do you find the professor and how do you prepare the proposal?
Actually, it depends from your research topic. And as a PhD researcher, you should already be mastered in some field. You should already know what you want to pursue. So what you should do is that we can, as a China admissions, we can provide you the supervisors list. And usually on the supervisors list, they have their research area. So you should first search by the research area, whether it fits with your research area. And then after that, what you should do is that you should actually look at their papers, their research papers. All professors have published their own papers. So you should read their papers, and you really need to see whether you fit it with your research, right? And then if it really fits you, it's your passion, and you think that this professor can really help you, you should approach the professor with the research proposal. So on this proposal, you should have something like close to the professor's research field. And what is your idea? What you want to pursue? What is your research method? How can this professor help you to achieve the research goal that you are actually trying to achieve? And if the professor is also interested in the research topic, then there is a fit. So then at that time, you can get supervisor's approval. Does that answer the question?
That's great. That's very helpful. So there's actually more questions, but before we go through the questions, let me just introduce our new system on how you can find the scholarships. So this is our platform, and this is what we have introduced this page. It's actually very basic, but we are adding all of the scholarships on this platform. So I'll send you the link after this. And here you can search through all of the scholarships in China. And let me, so this is the Jiangxi University Presidential Scholarship. I will just introduce this one, which is Fudan University IMBA Program Scholarship. It's called the Xinchuan Belt and Road Scholarship. This is for students who are on the Belt and Road program. And here on the platform, you can find like how much is the scholarship and who is it for. So this is for Belt and Road Initiative students. The Belt and Road is a lot of different countries in Asia, Africa, and in Europe. And so this is for students who have some need for financial aid, and maybe they are not able to afford the full tuition of the program, which is like $38,000 US. So this has more information about the program, and then the entry requirements. You need to have 2 years work experience as well as English, high English level, and you need to have a very strong academic background, because this is one of the top MBA programs in China. So actually the FT rankings has recently released it, and it is 32 in the FT rankings. So it's got a very high result. And then this is the link to apply. So you can see all of the programs here, and then you can just click the page to apply. When you fill this out, then it will be processed to the website for the scholarship. So this one is on our platform. Other websites have different links. So it will be organized according to which university it is. So you basically, like, this is the Chinese government scholarship, and you can find all of the information about this. The Chinese government scholarship has 2 types. This is the university one, and this is the bilateral one. So this is through the embassies around the world. And this is like more information about the Chinese government scholarship and the CSC and how to apply. And basically this is the platform to apply for it. And it should take you to this link. We'll update it. I think I need to remove my VPN. Okay, so this is the application platform for the CSC, and so you just fill it out on this, and then you can apply for the Chinese government scholarship. And taking you back to this page of the scholarships, as we only have like 9 scholarships here, we're adding all of the rest. So just I'll send you the link to this in an email after the session. So if you'd like to get updates, you can put your email here, and then we'll give you updates. And then I also recommend that you check out our YouTube channel. So you can click, I need to put VPN on. So if you click this link for YouTube, it will also take you to the YouTube channel. You do need a VPN in China. So a VPN will help you to connect to websites like YouTube. It's not working right now for some reason, but yeah, I'll send you the link for that. And yeah, so let's go to the questions that you guys have. So we go through the questions. Okay, so are there Csc scholarships for Master Management, International Business and Trade programs? Yes, there are. That's what, yeah, there's many scholarships for Master in Management and International Business. You can just apply on the links that we gave. Beijing Foreign Studies University does have that. Yeah, you can just apply normally and then choose that program. So how long should the study plan be for a master's degree? Are you able to answer that, Nadia or Dulguun?
Yeah, sure. So for a master's application, the personal statement, right? It needs to be, usually it's like 1,000 words maximum. So the way you structure your study plan, so first of all, you have to introduce yourself, because study plan or personal statement is basically the first time the university can get to know you. So first of all, you have to introduce yourself, and then you have to introduce your intention, why you would like to study, let's say, a business program at UIBE. And then after that, it's better as well if you introduce the reason why you want to study in China, like say amazing things about China if that's the reason why you want to study in China. And then last but not least, you can end it with sharing a bit about your future plans.
Great, thanks. Do you have anything to add to that, Dulguun?
Yeah, actually, like I think during the personal statement, you should actually, a lot of, because I check personal statement of students, I can see that a lot of the time they're talking what they found on Google. Like, oh, I heard this uni is so good, this ranking is good, But actually on personal statement, you have to show how this university, like, even though they already know they're good in this field, but they want to know personally how they can help you. If your research field is like international business, right? You can tell them about your future goal, what you want to pursue, and how university, their opportunities, their alumni network, the career network, how the professor's research field can help you. Then that way your personal statement becomes really personalized, and it comes when the teachers and the admissions office, they read it, they actually start to know you better, and they can see that the university really can help you to achieve your goal rather than talking general things that you can find on Google. I think that could be a good tip for personal statement.
Great, yeah. I also have a little bit to add. The study plan is basically, so there's actually two types, right? There's the personal statement, which is, but this is not the personal statement, this is a study plan, right? So when they ask for the personal statement basically asks, what is your, they want to know what is your career plan. They want to know that you have a definite career plan, and they want to know that you're going to be successful, that you're a top student, that you're motivated. So you just want to bring out all of your strengths. And then you want to show that you've really researched the program, and you want to flatter them, and they want to know that you're suitable for the program as well. Okay. So are there Csc scholarships? Yeah, so we just answered that already. Is it easy to get the acceptance letter from university previous to the scholarship? I've been sending emails but didn't get any answers. So, okay, so this is like, is it easy to get the pre-admission letter before the scholarships? So, yeah, this kind of depends on each university. It's kind of not really easy because some universities don't process it until after they're not open yet and they're not processing applications. So it really depends on the university. And yeah, it's definitely true that universities get a lot of email, especially about scholarships. So you might not get answers to all of your emails. Yeah, do you guys have anything to add about that?
I think this pre-acceptance letter is actually not needed all the time. It's usually needed for Type A scholarship when you apply by the embassy. And getting this pre-admission letter actually depends from the student and the profile of the student, because it is still an admissions letter. Even though it's pre-admission, it's still admission letter. So they will see your profile, your application. If you are qualified for the scholarship, you can definitely get it. If you're qualified for the admissions first, you will definitely get the pre-admission letter. But if you don't have really good grades and you don't qualify the university admissions, then probably you don't stand a good chance to get a pre-admissions letter.
Great, okay. So we have quite a lot of questions. So if you have a question that is really important that you want to get answered, just put a thumbs up and then we'll answer that next. So we'll answer the most popular questions. So if there's anything you want, please do that. And so the medical exam, can you get your doctor to sign you off, or is there a different service that you need to pay for? The medical exam is basically you need to download the form and then go to the doctor or the hospital in your own country, and you normally need to pay them a fee, or maybe it's free if it depends on the country. And then yes, there's just a form to download and we can send you the link for that, and that's very important to do that with your application. Is there anything you guys want to add? No. Okay. So, hi, I'm from Algeria. I sent a lot of emails to supervisors, but I didn't get any response. Can I apply without acceptance letter? Yeah, we've kind of answered that already. I've taken, yeah, so yeah, you can apply without acceptance letter. It's not necessary. I want to take a foundation course to improve my Chinese skills before applying for a bachelor degree. Does CSC provide scholarships for the foundation course? Yes, they do. I know of some students who studied, I think they applied for studying a bachelor program in Chinese, and then they got they got a foundation program for the first year, or two. No, they actually got 2 years. When I was studying at Peking University, I didn't get a scholarship because I just applied directly. I just studied Chinese, and the tuition fee is not that much. It's like 8,000 RMB. So I know some friends who got the Csc Scholarship for bachelor's degree, and they were on a 2-year foundation program. Yeah, does anyone else have anything to add?
I think it actually works like that. When you are applying for a bachelor's degree, for example, taught in Chinese, and if you don't speak Chinese, then actually CSC covers your language, Chinese language courses for the first 2 years. And this doesn't, I'm not sure whether the student is asking this or whether the student is asking preparatory foundation courses in mathematics or physics, because I know definitely that CSC covers 2 years of you learning Chinese, and in the end of the 2 years, or even the first year, if you pass HSK 5, you can directly enroll to your bachelor's degree taught in Chinese. So that's like preparatory course, and it's still covered by CSC.
Great. I've applied to university before knowing about China admissions. Do you offer services for handling scholarships advice for students in relation to this matter? If you can send us an email, we can check specifically. You can let us know what program you want to apply for. It's a little bit hard to answer generally, but if you are more specific about the programs, maybe we can give some help. Right now, yeah, we can review and check it. I'm 40 years old. May I get a scholarship for Chinese language course for 1 year? So I think there's age limits on the Csc scholarship. Do you guys know the Chinese language age limit?
As far as I know, if you're only applying for just Chinese language without a degree program, then non-degree courses are actually not covered by CSC. CSC usually is given for degree students. I know for Chinese language, there is like a scholarship called Confucius Institute Scholarship. That one covers Chinese language scholarship.
Yeah, but in addition to what Dulguun has just shared, for the Confucius Institute Scholarship, which is a part of the Csc Scholarship, it is usually only targeted for, so it's kind of like it's not for everyone. So it's usually targeted for students who are really mastering Chinese language. For example, if they already have a bachelor's in Chinese language in their home countries, or if they are teaching Chinese language in their home country. So it's really targeted for students who have a career in the Chinese language, or who really have who really develop a high interest in Chinese language.
Great, thank you. So we're going to add the Confucius Institute Scholarship to our platform soon, so you can see more information. Are there enough scholarships for literature and philosophy departments? Yes, there's definitely a lot of scholarships for literature and philosophy. I'm not really sure how to answer. Yeah, so like every program you can get scholarships, and yes, there are, so you can apply for that. Do you guys have anything to add?
I think actually for Csc scholarship, each and every university decides which major they want to give Csc scholarship for. Not all the programs that you see on the university is included in Csc. There are special programs who are included in Csc. So definitely first you need to choose a university list. If it's included in the Csc list, then you can definitely apply. So it's major based and also university based.
Yeah, so there's so we'll send you an email of the universities that the link. We have an article about the link of the universities that are covered by Csc Scholarship. So we'll send you that, and then you can find the departments from that. So literature and philosophy. Yeah, there's a lot of really good universities with that. I know of a student that got that at Wuhan University, and they have some philosophy programs. And yeah, you can also check on our platform you can search philosophy or literature, and you can find programs there. That may be a good way to find it. When applying for scholarship, do they look at your parents' income? I don't think that's a question, is it?
No, if you're applying for scholarship, you can just tell them you're a scholarship student, so you don't have to provide proof of financial support.
Yeah, no, it's not necessary. And then, no, it's not necessary. When do I need to apply for a scholarship? As soon as possible, before the deadline, the deadline is not confirmed, I think, but it's in March. Do you guys know of the exact deadline?
Well, usually for that one depends on which type of scholarship they're applying, right?
Yeah.
So if it's for the Csc Scholarship Type A, then they need to check the deadline with the Chinese embassies, because usually it's around January to February. But for Type B, the one where they need to apply to the university, it's usually on March 31st.
Yeah, but I think students should check, like actually we can help you to check with the university, because actually the deadline is set usually by universities themselves. So different unis have different deadlines.
There's a lot of university scholarships, like even in May, June, July. Sometimes universities just release a scholarship in August, and then they will they'll just say like, we've got a scholarship in August, and they will let us know. So we're going to put that on the platform as well. So you might have some last minute opportunities to get scholarships.
Yeah.
Are there Csc and university scholarships for Master, PhD in International Relations and Affairs? Yes, there are. So I suggest you can have a look at the link of the Csc and also the programs on our platform to find good programs for that and any other programs that you want to apply. Besides Csc, what are the other government organizations that provide scholarships? So this is what we're trying to do, is on our platform have all of the scholarships in China. And so we are trying our best to add all of those. So we're trying our best to add all of those. Confucius Institute, there's quite a lot of different types. Yeah, there's not essential information about all of them, so that's what we're trying to help you with.
Yeah, I know I can add one governmental scholarship, which is MOFCOM, we have many MOFCOM students in our class, but it's usually applied by the embassy, and it's I heard it's even tougher than to receive a CSC because it has specific requirements.
And there's other type of scholarship is the provincial government scholarship. For example, if your university is located in Beijing, then you can apply for Beijing government scholarship, or if it's located in Shanghai, you can apply for Shanghai government scholarship, Guangdong government scholarship. So yeah, different province offer different scholarship for international students as well.
Okay, thank you. And I graduated from English literature. I don't have TOEFL or IELTS. Can I get a CSC scholarship? If you studied in English, then you don't need, like an English program, then you don't need to attach TOEFL or IELTS. Otherwise, if you're from a non-English speaking country, then you need to send your TOEFL or IELTS. Okay. Can you recommend some top uni for business related studies, English taught courses in China? Yes, BFSU is a great one. They have a bachelor's in business, and they also have a scholarship if you have top grades for that. There are lots of this is one of the most popular programs in China, business for bachelor's. So there's a lot of different programs for that. Suggest that you can check on our platform, and you can find a lot there. Do you guys have anything to add? So let me just share like how to find the programs. So you can just search here, business, and then you can just search like bachelor's, and then these are lots of the programs. So yeah, the Chinese University of Hong Kong Shenzhen, they have a lot of scholarships. So we're going to add those as soon as possible. And then the Asia Europe Business School is a top one as well. And bachelor's in ZUS so Beijing Foreign Studies University and UHK is Shenzhen, like the top ones. But you can also have a look at all of the other programs. So there's a total of 73 programs. So you can also take eligibility quiz here, and it will help you to choose programs that you're eligible for. Let's see the questions. Is Type B scholarship included 4 month funded with monthly stipend? Yes, that's right. And how much is it, the monthly stipend?
It's for bachelor's degree, you receive monthly 2,500 RMB. For master's, you will receive monthly 3,000 RMB, and for PhD, monthly you will receive 3,500 RMB.
In addition to that, you'll also get free accommodation from the university. So usually you get a free dormitory from university.
Yeah, so living expense is enough. You don't actually have to ask money from your parents because it's really enough.
True, it's really enough even if you study in Beijing or Shanghai, which is like the most expensive cities in China.
Yeah, we both studied in Beijing and it was enough. So if you're studying any other city in China, it will be enough.
Because the biggest cost is the accommodation and the food, right? Basically, and the accommodation is covered, and the food on the campus is really, really cheap. It's like you can get a meal for like 30 RMB, 20 RMB.
Even less, 10 RMB.
Yeah. So it's subsidized on the campus, so you can eat every day. Like you can spend less than $5 on campus in most universities. Can I apply for a Beijing government scholarship for my first year?
Yes. You can apply for Beijing government scholarship, and it's also a governmental scholarship, but you should know that Beijing government scholarship only covers tuition. So you will have to pay for your accommodation, and you will have no monthly stipend. You will have to pay for your insurance. It's just fully like tuition scholarship. And yeah, you can definitely apply it for your first year and start your studies.
So we're going to add all of the details about that on our platform soon. So you'll be able to see. I got my master with grade B. Do you think I have a chance to get a scholarship for PhD? So I think it depends which country you got your grade B, because different countries, some countries like UK, so grade B, I'm not really sure. Yeah, it totally depends on the country and what the GPA is relative. But if it's like grade B and then the top one is grade A, then I think it depends on your overall background, I think, and what program you're applying for. But it seemed like you'd have a chance if it, yeah. So yeah, it's worth applying. Why not? I'm sending emails to UIB professors for PhD economics, but failed to receive any response. If I apply Type B scholarship at UIB without acceptance letter, will they alter my chance to get admission and scholarship?
Yeah, I think I can answer on that.
Yeah.
So for UIB, when you're applying for PhD, you don't need supervisor's acceptance letter. It's one of the few unis that you don't need supervisor's acceptance letter for applying PhD. And when I applied for a PhD program at UIB, I actually didn't have supervisor's approval, because you have to choose your supervisor from your second year after you already started your courses and you learned your major. So I think for UIB, it will be no problem for you to apply for a PhD without any acceptance letter, because it's not yet time to contact your supervisors yet. You will have to do it from your second year, so you can definitely apply.
Great, thank you. And do you know whether Chinese universities are currently willing to receive physical applications by post? When I contacted Zhejiang University about my master's application, they said to only send the forms online in light of the pandemic. Yes, I think most universities are not asking, like some of them are, but Zhejiang isn't right now. So you can just send it digitally, which is a lot easier and free.
Yeah, and
a lot of the others are. Yeah. What do you think?
I think additionally, actually this year, if you're asking just for university applications, of course, many universities, they actually accepting online applications this year. And yeah, Zhejiang University, they're not accepting online application. Even Tsinghua University, they say online application is okay. Peking University, actually they're receiving by post. But if you are referring to scholarship, because it's a scholarship session, if you're referring to Csc application, you definitely need to send by post, whether no matter it's COVID or not. Csc application should be handled by paper, and you should send it to the embassy or to the university, definitely with paper.
From your experience, which English exam is better or more accepted among universities? So for the scholar, it's basically, it depends which one you can get the easiest. So they're equally accepted, TOEFL and IELTS. So it basically depends on which one you can take, because there is a long wait normally to take it because of the pandemic. So if you need to take it, it's like whichever one is possible. We do have international, so we do actually have an international English test, which you can take online. But this isn't accepted by the Chinese Scholarship Council, so you can't use that to apply for a scholarship. It's an oral interview with the English examiner, and you get a grade for your English level. So you can use that to apply to many universities in China, but not for the Chinese government scholarship right now, but maybe in the future it's possible. So the International English Test is a great test. It's online. It costs $79 US, and it takes, you can book it within like 3 days, and you can get the result in like a week. So it's very easy to take. What is the process with Shanghai Government Scholarship? If I applied for CAGS already, can I still apply to SGS? Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Why not? Yeah, they're completely separate, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but I think there should be a note, like if you already applied for CSC and you're applying now to Shanghai Government Scholarship, there are two like different organizations, right? But it's still a government scholarship. And if you end up receiving both scholarship, and because it's from my experience, that's what my teachers told me. And if you end up receiving both scholarships, it means that you will have to decline one of the scholarships to receive the one. And if you decline a Chinese government scholarship, if you in the future want to pursue another degree with scholarship, then you will not be able to receive a scholarship because you already declined the scholarship from the government. That was what I was told by the teacher. So you can definitely apply, But if you receive both, then you will need to choose. And in the future, probably will not be able to get another scholarship.
Yeah, thanks for these questions, guys. If you don't mind, can you share your email ID? Thank you. Yes, we can. Maybe I can write it here.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's Dulguun at China Admissions, and then so here is Dulguun's email, and then apply at China Admissions. Maybe you can send to both, and then we can answer it. I want to apply master degree. I don't have TOEFL or IELTS. Can I just submit proof English is a medium of instruction in my university? My country is not an English-speaking country, but I graduated from English major. I don't. Yes. I'm not 100% sure if it depends on the country that you're. It depends on the university, I think, if it's accepted. If it's not in an English-speaking country, but the medium of instruction is English, it may be accepted. I think it's likely to be accepted if it's a proper, like, if it's a top university, it's in English. I think it's very likely that it would be fine. But if it's not a well-recognized English, like if it's not a well-recognized university and then maybe it's not accepted, depending on the university and country.
Yeah, I think it's always better to provide TOEFL or IELTS, because again, it's a scholarship application and it's very, very tough and competitive. Because back then I also studied my bachelor's program in English in Indonesia. So Indonesia is also not English speaking countries, but I studied in English. I actually can get away with it by like asking a paper from a letter from my university saying that I studied the whole thing for 4 years in English, but I choose to take TOEFL instead, because I feel like, you know, like taking TOEFL, I know it's an extra cost and it's not so cheap to take TOEFL, but actually it can somehow like give a plus point to your application, because if you have a good result in your TOEFL, definitely then it means that you are excellent students. It means like you're good. So it can definitely boost up your application. So given the fact that Csc scholarship or any other type of scholarship is very competitive, it's better if you can provide TOEFL or IELTS to boost up your application.
Yep. So last question, guys, then we have to finish the session. If we don't get the scholarship and we're admitted in the university, is it automatic that we would pay for it, or can we still look for other scholarships while being admitted? I think you can still look for scholarships after getting accepted. So that, yeah, you can definitely apply to the university and still look for scholarships. Some universities will give you scholarships later. Depends specific case.
Actually, it depends like what this student refers to as a scholarship. If this student is referring to as university scholarship and not receiving university scholarship, then yeah, you will have to self-fund yourself and later you can try again. But if you are referring to Csc scholarship, but usually in the beginning of the application, you choose whether you want to be a self-funded student or Csc applicant. And on the basis of that, your application is processed differently. And if you already applied as a Csc student, the answer will be yes or no for the scholarship. It will not be like, oh, you didn't get the scholarship, but you are admitted to university. No, if you apply as a Csc student, you either get accepted with Csc, either you don't get accepted at all.
Okay, we've got a few more questions. We'll see if we can get through. If we apply for the Csc, will the result of IELTS affect the acceptance chance? I think we answered that. It's better to have it. You need to have 6.5 normally, or 7. But if you have higher, then it's a lot better. If you have like a 7.5 or an 8, that's really good. If we apply for Csc, another scholarship can get both the scholarships. Would we have to decline one, or is it we can take both scholarships? Depends. Normally, if you have the Csc, then if it covers all of it, then you won't get other scholarship. Like you're not gonna make then they will just cover the tuition fee. So normally you will just take the biggest scholarship, but there are sometimes when you can get like 2 or 3 partial scholarships. Like that might be possible with some programs. Please, I mistakenly applied for March intake instead of September. Please, can it be changed? This depends on which university it is. And maybe you can like contact us. We'll send our email and you can like contact us by email with your application details and we can check it. Yeah, often it can be changed if you like, we can help to have a check. But it depends on the university. I want to apply scholarship in Tianjin University for acupuncture and in English medium. Do I need IELTS? I think it would definitely be good if you can get it. If it's a Csc scholarship, then you would need it. These universities give you 50% scholarship after applying. Some universities do give you that scholarship. Some of them do give scholarships after you apply. So it depends on that. And so we'll put that on our platform with more information about it. We had a student who was applying and he was ready to pay the full fee. I remember from America, and they just gave him a full scholarship and he was like really surprised and really happy. He doesn't need to pay anything. So sometimes you'll be lucky. So that's why it's good to have a good application. If requirements for a scholarship are HSKK and HSK3, is it okay to have HSK4 certificate? I think so. But I think if they ask for HSKK, they might want you to have the HSKK as well, because it's the oral Chinese. But I think most of the scholarships, they just ask for the HSK, like 4 or 5. They don't ask for HSKK. So the HSKK is the oral, and the HSK for HSK3 is the written. How is it with learning Chinese in China? That's a big question. How is it with learning? Yeah, go ahead.
Like the student, I think the student is referring to like how is it like to learn the Chinese in China, I think. So I think I actually already made a video about it. Like you can watch it later on China Admissions YouTube channel, like how to learn Chinese. So actually learning Chinese in China is much easier than to learn in your own country, for example, because you have the environment that you can learn. And then like whenever you go out of the campus or even your classmates, you know, like even though you speak Chinese, your classmates will be from all over the world and they might not speak English. So your first language to communicate with your friends and make friendship is Chinese, and you communicate with your teachers in Chinese, and outside of campus and everywhere you will speak Chinese, and even you watch movies, it will be in Chinese. So definitely learning Chinese in China is much easier than in any other country, and it's more natural, it comes to you directly.
Yeah, adding a little bit about that, but I think you can, how to say, like, Chinese language is basically so important if you are about to live in China. And sharing a bit from my own experience, who don't really speak Chinese, I struggle a lot the first time I came here, simply because I don't really understand the language. So I think before you come to China, it is always a good decision to like start learning Chinese a little bit. You can start online, like you can watch some videos online, or you can go join the online Chinese courses, for example. It will help you a lot with adjusting with your new life and also with the Chinese language later if you arrive in China.
Yeah, I studied Chinese as well, and it's great. It opened my mind to a whole new world. I was from England, and I just know the English mindset and the English culture, and so it was amazing to learn Chinese. So it's a great experience. I really recommend it, and it's great that you can just talk to anyone and speak Chinese. It's really cool, and it's really impressive as well, and it's amazing. But I'm still studying. It's not fast. You have to keep studying all the time. Is it easy to find job opportunities being an international student under English talk degree? Yeah, it depends on the case. You can take an internship if you get permission from the university, and then like there's a few job opportunities at the moment. A lot of the opportunities are in companies that are looking. Probably the biggest opportunities are in Chinese companies that are looking to go international. So maybe you can help them in like their international marketing. There's definitely quite a lot of companies hiring for that, such as like all the big tech companies who are going all around the world. So that's the kind of the main job opportunities for foreigners.
Yeah, I think I can add something.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think I have had the same situation as this student, because my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, my PhD degree, all are taught in English. So yeah, but I think that for this student, like if you are studying your program in an English taught program, I will definitely suggest you to learn Chinese. No matter what, if you want to work in China after your graduation, like if you work for Chinese companies, definitely you have to speak Chinese, because even though you're adding value to the company with your own language, from your experience from your own country, you will have to communicate with them. And even let's say you supposedly like pursue like international companies in China, definitely your clients will be Chinese. So you will need to speak with your clients in Chinese. So definitely, even if it's an English taught program, if you learn Chinese, you will have a lot of job opportunities, many job opportunities. But if you don't know Chinese and you only speak English and you want to find a job in China, that's a really tough opportunity to look for. I'm not saying it's not possible. There are companies like that, but it means like you're just deleting your 99% of your chance of finding a job. So it's better to learn Chinese. And Nadia, she also had the same issue with me,
Yeah.
right? English taught program and found the job. So tell us.
English taught program all the way from bachelor's to master's, and I don't really speak Chinese. So at some point, I really do feel like I got lucky. So, but Dulguun is really correct. So the opportunity for me as, I would say, non-Chinese speaking person is very limited in China. Because a lot of the companies, even if they're looking for like, even if the position is in English or like you can work in English, but Chinese language skills is actually still preferred, because you'll be together with the Chinese team, right? You'll be together with the Chinese colleague. Of course, they prefer to speak Chinese. So it is definitely will add a value to your CV, to yourself as well, if you can speak Chinese, and it will give you a wider range of opportunities in terms of getting a job in China.
Great, and actually I'm going to share a really good program for you guys if you want to learn Chinese. And this is the Dalian Newsoft University of Information. And this is actually the fastest program to get to HSK4 from zero. And this is the program, it's starting in March. So if you're applying for September intake, you can choose to take this program. It's one semester, 5,900 RMB. Depending, if you're starting from zero, it's 5,900 RMB. If you're starting from like HSK3, it's 2,300 RMB. So this is a really good program. I really recommend it. And so you can apply here, and then it will. Newsoft is like a company in China, and they created this university called Dalian Newsoft University of Information. And this is a great program, very fast program. Beijing Language and Culture University also have a very good program. Okay, and by the time CGS is released and we are not admitted, can we still apply for university, since you mentioned? It's definitely better to apply for many, so you have more options, because otherwise if you don't get it, it's probably it's a lot harder to apply later. So you don't want to be in a position where you have no options. So it's much better to apply for as many as possible, as early as possible, so you're not in that position. Yeah.
And the problem is that you can apply, but the problem is like we told you, like for example, we are taking applications for September 2021 intake, right? And while you apply for CSC now, let's say today, your result of admissions will come out in the end of July, beginning of August, where all the admissions application for the September 2021 is already finished. So that's why it's very hard to apply by then, because all the applications are closed by then. So definitely that's going to be hard. So definitely if you want to like make sure that you get an offer, you can apply, like as Rich said, some universities as self-funded and some universities that you prefer as a CSC, and so that you will have some choices. Even after, if you receive CSC, you can take the offer. If you don't, then at least you will have an offer as a self-funded student.
Great, and so this is the actual last question. If you have more questions, then we'll send you an email later. You can just reply to our email and we'll help you. I'm being supported 50% by a company in my country. Can I still apply for Csc Scholarship? Yeah, I think maybe you can apply for the Csc Scholarship, and then if you get that, then your company doesn't need to pay. So your company will be very happy. Maybe they could, yeah. So it's worth applying. It's free to apply. So I think that's a great idea. Okay, I think that was great to have you guys here, and I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any feedback or about how we can improve and more questions, then please let us know. We'll send an email now with a link to our platform, how you can find scholarships, and also yeah, we'll send you some helpful links so you can check. Great. Thank you guys. Thank you, Dulguun. Thank you, Nadia. It was very helpful and great to have you here. All right. Cheers, guys. Have a nice day and happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Cheers,
Bye.
everyone. Happy Chinese New Year.